our topic today is on conversions, and say I wanted to change 20 feet into inches. Well, how do I know if I multiply by 12 and say it's 240 inches, or divide by 12 and say it's 1.8 inches? Well, the obvious answer for now is yes, 240. But with bigger conversions, we don't know exactly what to do. So what we're going to look at is how to use these conversion charts. 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. And what's going to happen here is, so what you always should do when you're doing these conversion tables, always start with what you know. So this part right here, 20 feet. I'm going to start with 20 feet. Okay? I'm going to make it into a little fraction. And here's why. If I multiply by the number 1, that means I'm not changing what the actual amount is. Well, both of these fractions represent 1. So the question is, which one do I do? Do I put the feet on top with inches bottom, or inches on top with feet on bottom? Here's how you know. Say I had this term, 2xy over x. If I have an x on the top and the bottom, they can cancel out. I can do the same thing here. I don't want feet. I need it to cancel out. So to do that, I need to put feet on the bottom. That means I want my inches on top. That way feet will cancel out. The unit that I have left is inches. And so what I would say is I know 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. Now, my unit's inches, that's what I want, so all I have to do is now multiply. I multiply straight across, and that's how I get 240 inches. 20 times 12, and down the bottom, 1 times 1, and do your division. Let's look at a couple more examples. If I want to change 5 miles into inches, again, start with what I know, 5 miles. I'll put it over a fraction just to make it easier. And what will I convert to? Well, I need to get rid of miles, so I'll put it on the bottom. 1 mile is the same as, I don't know how many inches are in a mile, but I know there are 5,280 feet in a mile. So that gets rid of my miles unit. Now my unit right now is feet, but I don't want feet. I want inches. So I need to do another conversion. I'll get rid of feet and change it to inches, because 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. My feet cancel out. That gives me units as my inches as my unit. So I can multiply across and get 316,000 as my answer. Let's do the same idea here. Start with my 2,000 centimeters. Put it over 1. And how can I convert this? Well, I am given this one that there are 2.54 centimeters per 1 inch. I don't want inches though, I want feet. So to change that, I'm going to change inches into feet. And I know that there are 12 inches for every 1 foot. So now my inches have canceled, my centimeters have canceled, so I'm canceling out the right words to leave me with feet like I want. Now in this case, I'm going to have 2,000 on top and then 12 times 2.54 on the bottom. I need to divide those two values, and that's when I'll get my answer here, which is, help if I could write, 2,000 over like 30.48 on the bottom. So then I do that division, 2,000 divided by 30.48, and get an answer of 65.6 feet in that case. All right, now we can also do this not just with distances or standard ideas. We can also do it with rates. So like miles per hour, or in this one, water milliliters per second. And here's how we'll do that. For 50 miles per hour, anytime I say the word per, or like for each, like per second, for each second, the per is the fraction bar. The fraction bar means per. 50 miles per hour, 50 miles for every 1 hour. And I need to change to feet per second. Okay? So, the question is, how do I do that? Needing to get to feet per second. That means I have two things that need to happen. I need to get miles to feet, hours to seconds. Doesn't matter the order. Let's change hours to seconds first. Hours are on the bottom. To get rid of it, I need an hour up top. 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. But I don't want minutes, I want seconds. So let's change that as well. 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. Now my unit, if I read what I have left that isn't crossed out, miles per second. I don't want miles though, I want feet per second. So to change that, to get rid of miles, so now my miles will go away. 1 mile is the same as 5,280 feet. Now I have feet per second, which is what I want, so I can do my multiplication. I multiply everything that's on the top, so 50 times 5,280. and divide by my numbers on the bottom. Divide by 60 and 60 again. And I get 73.3 feet per second. All right, see if you can figure out this one. Pause the video, give it a try. All right, so what you should have done, you should have started with 0.5 milliliters per second. We're going to change here the seconds and the minutes first, but we don't want per minute. We need how much water is wasted in a full week. So I got to keep going. So I change minutes into hours. Well, that's not good enough. I can change hours into days. Still not good enough. How many days are in a week? 7 days in a week. So that's now good shape that I have milliliters per week at this point. Now, I don't want milliliters though, I want full liters. Well, there are 1,000 milliliters for every 1 liter. So my unit left is liters per week, just like I wanted. Now I can multiply across and divide. I should get 302.4 liters per week. Now, the last kind that we can do are these ideas of square feet or square miles. So, what happens here? I have 12 miles squared or square miles. I'm going to put it over 1 because I don't have a rate. I want to know how many square feet that is. Well, again, I know that there's for every 1 mile, 5,280 feet. Well, what happened with my units? A mile cancels out with one of my miles. I have 2 of them though. So I still have another mile left behind. And my unit right now is going to be feet times miles. And I want square feet. I need 2 feet. So I'm going to do another conversion. The exact same one. 1 mile for 5,280 feet. The only time you do 2 conversions of the same type in a row is when you need to get square feet, square miles. So that mile cancels out with the other remaining mile. My unit left is feet times feet, which is feet squared, which is what I want. So now I can go and multiply through it. I'm going to get quite the big number. I'm going to get 12 times 5280 times 5280 and get this big, huge numbers. 334,540,800 square feet. So make sure, again, when you have a unit squared, you use your conversion twice.